So, as Afe Babalola and Femi Farotimi drama continues, WikiLeaks and America Cable exposes how Afe Babalola and ex-President Olusegun Obasanjo allegedly bought Nigeria Court of Appeal ruling with 30 million naira cash in 2004. This information was carried by Sarah reporters yesterday on Sunday, where I'm going to be giving you guys the full details of this news, but please help us by liking and sharing this video so that YouTube and Facebook can recommend it to more people. Thank you. So, a WikiLeaks classified United States diplomatic cable has exposed how Nigeria legal luminary Chief Afe Babalola and former President Olusegun Obasanjo way back in 2004 allegedly purchased a court of appeal ruling that ensured that the Adamawa State Governor Boni Haruna remained in office. According to the US diplomatic cable, an attorney for the then Governor Haruna, who worked for Afe Babalola, confirmed that the favorable ruling by the Court of Appeal was ensured in typical Nigeria fashion with cash. The attorney, who works for Presidential Attorney Afe Babalola, said that when President Olusegun Obasanjo sent Babalola to take over the appeal, he also sent cash to be used for the appeal. The attorney claims that he went along for the delivery of 30 million naira, about $225,000, to each of the 5 judges on the tribunal, but did not know if this was all the money disbursed. This is the normal procedure when it is an important case, he averred, the WikiLeaks documents read. So Boni Haruna, a staunch member of the People's Democratic Party (PDP), Obasanjo's party at that time, was governor of Adamawa State from 1999 to 2007. Afe Babalola has recently come under the radar in Nigeria over his use of Nigeria police to arrest human rights lawyer Dele Farotimi from office in Lagos State, an action that has received national and global condemnation from various quarters and human rights groups. So last Tuesday, Dele Farotimi was arrested and taken to Ekiti State for allegedly defaming Afe Babalola, a prominent legal figure, in his book Nigeria and its Criminal Justice System. On Wednesday, Farotimi was arraigned at a magistrate court in Ado Ekiti, where he pleaded not guilty to the 16 charges brought against him. The police had filed another set of charges just to keep Farotimi in detention. The presiding magistrate, Abayomi Adesun, had denied Farotimi bail and ordered that he be remanded in the correctional center until December 10 for further hearing. Meanwhile, WikiLeaks documents which detail the saga involving Babalola and Obasanjo and the Court of Appeal ruling in 2004 are typically classified US diplomatic cables sent to and from US embassies in countries throughout the world. WikiLeaks was to publish 251,287 cables originating from 274 embassies and dating from December 28, 1966 to February 28, 2010, the organization said on its website. So the document on B.Abuja 539, classified by Russell J. Hanks, acting political counselor in Summary Aid, on July 5, an appeal court sitting in Just overturned the March 24 election tribunal decision that had nullified the election of Adamawa State Governor Boni Haruna. The verdict of the appeal court and the election tribunal differed to significantly on their findings of the relevant fact that they beg the question of whether one verdict or the other have been influenced by outside parties. On July 5th, an appeal court sitting in Just overturned the March 24 election tribunal decision and had nullified the election of Adamawa State Governor Boni Haruna, PDP member and protege of VP Atiku Abubakar. The original election tribunal had found beyond reasonable doubt that electoral malpractice had taken place and that the election was not compliant with the electoral law. The appeal court in Just, however, found that the evidence used by the election tribunal was absolutely inadequate, even to prove the simplest of a criminal offense, very impotent to affect the appellant or cross-respondents, ridiculous for convicting any of the appellants or cross-respondents with commission of any electoral offense, and that the evidence was scandalous and naive, a very basis for nullifying the election. So, according to an attorney for Haruna, the outcome was ensured in typical Nigeria fashion with cash. The attorney, who works for Presidential Attorney Afe Babalola, said that when President Olusegun Obasanjo sent Babalola to take over the appeal, he also sent cash to be used for the appeal. The attorney claims that he went along for the delivery of 30 million naira to each of the 5 judges on the tribunal but did not know if this was all the money disbursed. This is normal procedure when it is an important case, he averred. While the embassy has been unable to examine the appeal court ruling in entirety, the verdict of the appeal court and the election tribunal differ to significantly on their findings of the relevant facts that it begs the question of whether one verdict or the other may have been influenced by outside parties. Both courts were composed of senior members of the judiciary, both operating under the same laws, principles, and guidelines. It would be normal for an appeal court to have a slightly different interpretation than a lower court, but the radically divergent views of the just court from the Yola tribunal leave little doubt that something other than the law was factored into the final decision. So, commenting on the WikiLeaks document, human rights activist and convener of Revolution Now movement Omoyole Sowore said Babalola chickens are coming home to roost. So, according to his words, he said, Chief Afe Babalola chickens are coming home to roost. Facts are now emerging that, in fact, the reputation they are using the Nigeria police force to protect by kidnapping Dele Farotimi doesn't exist at all. Here is the WikiLeaks US document cable detailing how Chief Afe Babalola and former President Olusegun Obasanjo bought a court of appeal judgment with cash in Plateau State. Alright my people, so the cockroach is allegedly now in the cupboard. Alright, so before I conclude the video, I'll play you guys a video where Dele Farotimi was commenting on a book he wrote that caused this whole issue, and I'll be right back.
This book is 11 years in the making. It's been a very painful book to write. All I have done is that I have given a truthful account of what I have seen within the judicial system. And it has taken the loss of the judiciary for Nigeria to become the useless place it has more or less become now. For anybody to be a citizen, for a society to have citizens, you must be found on the rule of law. It would mean that both the governed and the governors are equally bound by the law. It must mean that the judiciary is one that deals with people blindfolded. But in a situation where instead of us being ruled by law, even at the most elementary level, we're governed by the will of men, no matter how perfect those men might be, they remain men. And it simply means that for as long as we are ruled by the will of men, we're subject to their whims and caprices. The level of corruption that I witnessed in this case, the brazenness of it, is not suggestive of somebody who is coming to the rodeo for the first time. This is a well-practiced person. This is the norm for these persons. No matter how corrupt a judicial system might be, there are certain precepts and norms. It's like I want to count 1 to 3, and then I'm looking to skip 2. So I just say 1, 3. Where is the 2? So there should be some order, some processes by which you arrive at a particular decision. That is why the court have rules. But when you see the highest judicial body in the country flouting its own rules and acting in a manner that is suggestive of impunity, then you know that something is very abnormal in that situation. When people become so powerful that they don't even care or believe that they are subject to any law, the law does not apply to them. The brazen impunity by which they did what they did made it impossible for maybe somebody else might have been able to find peace and walk away and be telling the story when they sit amongst their friends and they are sharing beer and cognac. But I'm not interested in beer parlor talk.
So my people, that is it. I saw this news and I decided to share it with you guys. So please let me know your opinion in the comment section, and please help us by liking and sharing this video so that YouTube and Facebook can recommend it to more people. Thank you so much for your time, and God bless you. Amen.